Here I have explained about the accordion, okay, and how to build the accordion. So you can check that video. Now I'm going deep and adding new feature in the accordion. And while adding the new feature, I'm going to explain the new concepts also. So the concept of uh, state uplifting, the concept of uncontrolled and control component, uncontrolled component, and control component. In many interview, I have given the many interview, and I have seen that many times. Interview asked, "What do you mean by control component? What do you mean by uncontrolled component?" So let us build some new feature also. Let me show you the feature which up to now we have built is very general feature, very common feature. But now this feature which I am going to explain now is little bit tricky. Okay, so let us see how can we build. So what I want, when I click on this, okay, when I click on this powers accordion, this should close, this should close. So how can we build that feature? Let us come to the code. First, let me explain that currently the toggle feature and show toggle and hide toggle means this accordion is show hide. Every accordion has its own state. We are providing has its own state. Okay, so in the child component, this one is the child component, this one is the parent component. Okay, so in the child component, each accordion has its own state to show the toggle and to hide the toggle. Okay, let me show you one of the most powerful debug thing. Okay, let me show one of the most powerful thing in the React. Okay, while doing the debug. Okay, so let me show you. So just inspect it and just go to the component. Let me show you the first one. Okay, let me show you the first one. Let me go here and show you. So see, the state is true. State is true. So it is open, so the state is true. Let me click on this. Let me click on this. See, the state is false. Let us come to this power accordion and see what will be the state of this. Currently it is false. Let's click on this. It is true. So each accordion has its own state. You got my point. This is the important point. So each accordion has its own state. Let me show you. This is true, but this should be false, right? If I am telling each accordion has its own state, so this should be false. See, this is false. When I click on this, this should also true. Okay. So what I want actually, I want that when we click on this, other accordion should close. Means when I open this, other accordion should close. But currently every accordion is maintaining its own state. Okay, its own state. So what I can do, I will take the power of toggle from this child and give to its parent. Now every accordion is going to be controlled by its parent. Got my point? Let me show you. So let me remove this. And just show detail will come from props, and just show detail is going to here and make it true. So now what will happen? Every accordion will open. See, now every accordion is open. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so show detail is true. Let me save this. Yeah, so see, true, then every accordion is open. Okay, every accordion is open. It is in. Okay, now let me do it false from parent itself. Now we are not dependent on child. So see, every accordion is false. Okay, so now the state is coming from the parent. Let us see that. Okay, see, state is coming from the parent as a props show detail from parent. So now the concept of control and uncontrol came. I don't think you are I don't think that while the way I have explained, you will never forget in your life what is control and uncontrolled component. Now this component, this child component, is is controlled component from where? From the parent. So the parent component is controlling its child. Okay, so now the parent is controlled component and child is uncontrolled component, because child is, so parent is controlling the, sorry, so the child is controlled component and control component. Now earlier the child is uncontrolled component. Now the child is controlled. From where it is controlling? Who is controlling? The parent is controlling. So earlier, when the child has its own state, his own state, that is called uncontrolled component. Now the child lost his control and is given to the parent. So now it is uncontrolled component. Child is controlled component. Earlier child is uncontrolled, now child is controlled. Who is controlling? Parent is controlling the child. So this is the control and uncontrolled component. If someone is controlling, means that component is now uncontrolled. Okay, earlier it is controlled, earlier it is uncontrolled, and now it is controlling by someone. It does not have its own power. So now this component, this accordion component, but is now this accordion component is controlled component. Okay, so what we have done, we have lifted the state up. Okay, you can see this show detail state is coming from here. So now, so the question, how can we build that feature? Let us show something. Okay, let me show something. Let us pass index. Okay, and let me show you, if index equal to, map has index also. One is item from each item, and second is index. So let me show you, index equal to 0, and if index is 0, then make it true. So see, 0 index is true. 0 means first index. Let me do it for 1. True. So 1 is true. You got the point? Right? So let me, so need to write the logic. When we click on this first or second or third, the based on the index we can show and hide. Now, okay, you got my point. So what we can do, we can create one index. So what we want, the index should be variable. When we click, the set index should be done. You got my point? So we can do show index comma set show index equal to use state, and this is the initial value. So the initial value is 0. Okay, or you can make it null. Let us make it initially 0 itself. So if show index equal to, if index equal to show index, then it should be true. So so now the initial value is 0. So zeroth index should be, let me copy this and paste it here. Okay, and let me write this. So let me show index. So show index. Okay. So see this. Now zeroth index is open. Let me do it to 2. Now second index 0 1 2 is open. Now I want to set it on click. How can I do? So we need to set the set show index. We need to set the index set show index. What? So how can we set from child? How can we set from child? So the way is we can call a function, callback function, set show. So let me, okay, so we can call a function, okay, set show index, and we can pass the index here. So now every time this index should be called from child. How can we call? We can call it by passing into, let me get it from here, by passing into props. Okay, so now we can call this set show index. How? By using this function. Now this one is not required. This one is not required. You got my point. So now what we are doing, we are doing set show index. We are setting the index value. We are setting the index value every time when we click on each accordion. When we click on each accordion, we are setting the value of index. Okay, let me show you. Is it working or not working? So the initial value should be null. Make it initial value. So we can write the condition. If it is true, equal to true, otherwise it should be false. Okay, if the index equal to show index, then it should be true, otherwise it's false. So let me show, make it null. Okay, initially null, so everything is closed. When I click on this, now let us come to click on this. See, this one is closed. Now click on this, this one is closed. Now click on this one is closed. But there is a drawback. What? The drawback is, I want, if I click on this, it should also close. It should also close. So how can we implement that? Yeah, but challenging, right? So let me click on this, it is working, but when we click on this, it is not closing. How can we implement that? So let me show you that one also. So what do we want? That if we click on the same index again, means if show index is true, so we can write the logic here. If show index is true, means this one, show detail. If show detail is true, means show detail is true, then what we want? We don't want to set show index. We want the set show index should be null. Then it is going to be automatically closed, because let me write the code first. So if, or we can write in, so write it like this so it is more clear to you. If show detail equal to true, then what we want? Then I want, if equal to true, okay, if not equal to true, let me do it like this. If not equal to true, or let me write this, else, just copy this, paste it. Oh my god, let me copy this and paste it here. I'm going to paste, I don't know why, or just copy this. Yeah. So now what I want, if show detail equal to true, if already show detail is true, then I don't want to set that index again. If I am clicking the accordion, let us suppose I am clicking the accordion. So if it is already true, I don't want to pass any index value. Okay, I want when I'm clicking on this, it is already open, when I'm clicking on this, then I want null should pass. What should pass in the set show index means in this set show index null should pass, so that should close. So we can write one more, we can pass one more set set index in order to set show index, to call the set show index again. So we can pass, or we can also do that like that. Let me okay, so let me call it like this, set show index close. Okay, and now call it, just call this again. Okay, so now what we can do, we are going to pass null here. What we are going to pass, we are going to pass null. Now this is going to call, when it is true, then we are going to call this one. This should come from the props, and we are going to, so when we call this function, it means we are calling null, right? So let me go here, check, is it working? Fine, right? When we open this is closed. When we open this should close. When we open this, and this is, when we close, it is closing. When we open this, then it is open, this is opening, and this is closing. So in this way we can implement this. So now we have, yeah, it is a little bit long video, 15-minute plus video, but we got 2 to 3 things in this concept. So what the concept we have taken, first concept is about the we have seen how can we see, how can we debug the state, okay, of React. And second thing is how can we implement this type of feature in Accordion, okay, open close, and how can we lift the state up, okay, and we have seen that how can we control child from its parents, and what is control component, what is uncontrolled component. Okay, thank you.